Welcome to Social Constructivism, Role of the Instructor. I have a self-guided question for you. Are you a sage on the stage or a guide on the side? This is important to consider because when it comes to the social constructivist classroom, there is a correct answer, and that answer is you need to be a guide on the side. But before we get into Vygotsky's reasoning as to why you need to be a guide on the side, let's look at what some of the recent research has shown in terms of the role of the instructor. When it comes to the current role of instructors, we've seen in the research that there has been a shift in post-secondary education. More importantly, a shift away from the traditional lecture by expert model of instruction towards a more 21st century pedagogy of engagement and collaboration. And because of this move, we need to have a concurrent shift in the role and attitudes of instructors. More importantly, we need to make sure that our instructors are able to support and enable this collaborative 21st century skilled environment for our learners. Part of the reason why this needs to be the case is the sage on the stage approach is seen by many in the body of research as being a method of encouraging passive learning from our learners versus active learning. And the way that we're going to engage them as active learners is by changing our approach from being the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. We also know that if we expect our learners to become experts and knowledgeable in terms of building their 21st century skills, then how we teach them, the ways that we teach them, the methods that we use to teach them must also change as well. If we expect our learners to think for themselves, pose and solve complex problems, and generally produce knowledge rather than reproduce it, we need to make sure that how we teach them is just as important as what we teach them. So we need to change our approach from being the disseminator of information to being the guide on the side. More importantly, we need to help them and cultivate them into being the 21st century skilled learners and lifelong learners that we expect them to become. So, in short, what is the role of the social constructivist instructor? As I've mentioned in the previous slides, it's about being the guide on the side. The guide on the side means simply that the instructor serves as the guide on the side and is there to help clarify concepts and aid in solving problems for a particular individual or for a particular group. The idea here is that the instructor provides support and scaffolding while giving students the ability to learn collaboratively with each other on projects and assignments and help them to build and construct knowledge. But the instructor is there as a guide to help them in problem solving. More importantly, the instructor is there as an encourager. What we mean by that is that an instructor does more than simply assign projects. The instructor is there to help students learn. This could be by encouraging them to look at a problem critically or even providing questions and suggestions in terms of what they may want to consider as they go through their learning journeys. Which leads us to the next point of the promoter of questions and discovery. The idea is that the instructor should pose questions and help the learners in their process of inquiry and promote discovery through their questions and foster a learning environment that encourages the students to ask questions, think critically, and really promote overall discovery. Last but not least, again, the instructor is there to provide scaffolding. This can be as simple as assigning students to work with each other, bringing in a resource such as a more knowledgeable other, but it could also be providing instructions, materials, videos, and many other artifacts that can help the learners to move forward in their process. The point is, the social constructivist instructor is there to be a guide, an encourager, a promoter of questions, and a promoter of support, while also providing the appropriate scaffolding and resources to enable learning to happen. So what will you be? Will you be the social constructivist instructor? With that, thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. Please visit the rest of our theme park and learn more about social constructivism.